The Ute Indian tribe was one of the well-known Colorado natives in the area. I should know this, for I am Chief Black Hawk, leader of the Black Hawk War and chief of the Ute people and tribe.
I remember my youth. My childhood consisted of hobos, horseback riding, and surviving. I remember becoming a warrior and a well-known chief. I led wars, helped my people and my land. Here's how I became a well-known native Coloradan and a hero. It started in the dry suns. I sat there, watching the chief ride the horse, as the whites called it. One thing we adapted to master is horseback riding. When I was young, we were the best natives to ride on horseback in a period of time. Stories, like the story on how the battle between us and the new coming Spaniards resulted in our warrior, prisoned, being sent to Spanish city of Santa Fe, New Mexico. 3 years later, some warrior youths escaped and stole plenty of horses. As I grew into a young warrior, I possessed the name Black Hawk. As moon and sun chased each other throughout the years, I became stronger, intelligent, and a man. I have been through over 150 wars and battles. I began becoming a chief and led the battle with the Mormons. I myself and the Ute warriors and allies were led against the Mormons, and we raided their settlement. It lasted a few years. I remember raiding the pale-faced government and taking their cattle, for we needed supplies. One of the worst battles I've ever encountered was Battle of the Axe, for I have lost many men and tribe members that day. I built strategies, and I was serious, for this was no manner to be funny. The reason how this started was because the whites thought they could control us. They thought they could make fun of us. They went too far and tried to take our rightful land and tribe, and tried forcing us onto a reserve. I quickly took a stand, and the tribe made me leader. I took care of them, and we battled the Mormons. The battle lasted many moons, and we gained and lost battles. In the period of time, many warriors have fallen, but we still raided and defeat most of the Mormons. I remember clearly when we were ambushed and most of my warriors were killed. I myself was captured and imprisoned. They treated me like a rat, but I stood like a man. During the times, I worried for my people, my tribe members, men, women, children, feeling the guilt of frustration, not knowing if they're okay or not. Many days I would wake up, sit, pray, and eat, and sleep on a never-ending cycle. It was torture. It lasted for a while. The day I died was in 1869. I remember standing with pride and with confidence, staring at the enemy's eyes. After my death, I sat with our spirits and I watched my people being forced to move smaller, and smaller land. And I watched as the horseback riding trail, which I grew up as a kid, was dug out and plowed over. I watched as our religion was changed and everything was ruined. Our story didn't have a complete happily ever after, but we still fought for what was right, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Now excuse me, I shall take my leave to watch our bear dance of my ancestors. And this is how the Utes showed submission and success during the Black Hawk War and many other wars. And this is how I, Chief Black Hawk, lived as a Ute Indian.